Battle of the Bears, UMO, USSR Hockey, brought to you by the Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of Bangor, the choice of a new generation. Northeast Chrysler Plymouth Bangor, Northeast Dodge, Toyota Waterville. Miller Beer, Miller made the American way. Bickford Auto Body, Main Road, Hamden. Now more than ever, it's the Bickford difference. And by Grant's Dairy. When it's as fresh can be, it's got to be Grant's, naturally.
Freewheeling offensive style where they circle more than stop and start, and they play without the puck tremendously. It's just something that they're taught since day one. And the other thing you'll see is they have tremendous hands. They have great hands. They've got the biggest curves you'll ever see, because internationally there's no problem with having illegal curves like this in an international competition, and it helps them a bit, and they really tic-tac-toe the puck. But other than that, I think you're going to find that the Soviet Union's hockey has gotten closer to North America, just like ours has gotten closer to the Soviet Union. My team plays a very wide open.
At the Альфонд Arena, the new ice has been laid. Bananas the Bear out on the ice as the crew will finish up their work here. And the crowd continuing to come in will fill the Альфонд here tonight with what will be the largest crowd ever assembled for a hockey game here at the University of Maine at Orono's Альфонд Arena. The seats have been sold out, and I expect there are 300 to 400 standing room only seats that have been sold. The maximum capacity of 4,300, which will be 4 or 5 deep standing here tonight at the Альфонд Arena. So a very special moment for the University of Maine hockey team to play the Sokol Kiev team, which, as Joe Carr knows, happens to mean, what was that, Joe?
Falcons. It's the only Russian word I know.
And they wanted us to make sure that we knew that. Kiev is the name of the city, and the Sokol, which they use, is the Falcons. So, in effect, that's their name. The matchup has been the pairings of the Bears. Of course, the USSR Russian Bear is the one that being referred to, but that is not really the mascot of this team, as Bananas is the mascot of the University of Maine. The mascot is the Falcon for the Sokol Kiev team. There are banners around here tonight, many of them in Russian, which have been printed up welcoming the team here, including one on the balcony at the far end, which is draped covering almost half of that balcony down there, and a great sign on one of the corners of the balcony down there in white, which I think was done by one of the Maine fans. They told me today it was going to be up there. It says, if you've got the vodka, we've got the ice. I think that's a pretty good sign. Very well done. And we are waiting for the arrival of the teams out on the ice. There will be ceremonies taking place here tonight. We again remind you, if you are one of the followers of college hockey, that there are going to be a couple of rule changes, Joe, which could make a difference, and we could have a number of whistles in this game tonight.
Particularly using the red line for offside and the passing rule there, and the fact that a defensive player has to go back and touch the puck for it to be icing. That'll make a difference too, and it should lengthen what might be a lengthy game anyway.
For those who follow the National Hockey League, you'll find that the rules as they are going to be handled tonight are much the same as the rules that will apply in International League play, which are the rules in effect in this game tonight. Drew Finney, who's in charge of publicity here at the university for the hockey team, put together a great program, a beautiful program for tonight's game. The Soviet players have gathered those in, and you talk about some wheeling and dealing taking place downstairs tonight between the Soviet team and the Maine Black Bears. We'll be lucky if we have any sticks left for the second half of the season. They traded shirts. A couple of the players bought in blue jeans and bags. They have given sticks to the Soviet players, all in return for pins, sticks, autographs, Soviet badges, all kinds of items which will be collected as memorabilia of this event. And the Soviet team was more than willing to become involved in the bartering.
It's something both teams are always going to remember, particularly the Maine team, since they'll only have one game. Soviets on a tour, but it's almost a once-in-a-lifetime thing, certainly a first-in-a-lifetime thing for Maine hockey players, and it's good that it's been brought down to that level where they can just get together and trade stuff and have a good time, play a hockey game.
And they were downstairs. The international barter rules were in effect. Nobody needed to speak the same language, as they had no trouble at all deciding on what they were going to trade. The Soviet players, of course, as has been mentioned, and I think during the Olympics, dearly love to collect American blue jeans. Those are very rare in the Soviet Union, and so when they can find them to take them home, they do. And a couple of the Maine players, knowing that, decided to give away some blue jeans to the Soviet players, and did so here tonight. In fact, Scott Smith was one of those who was carrying items downstairs, I noticed. I don't know what he got for it, but he brought them downstairs anyway. And that bartering, as one of the Maine hockey players said, thank goodness we were the first visit that the team would have, because after they leave here, they aren't going to have anything else left to trade. All right, we'll have some ceremonies, and Joe, we might want to talk about those. Of course, we'll be covering those for you, but there will be ceremonies here tonight on the ice in recognition of this visit by the Sokol Kiev team, and Joe, we might tell the people what that's going to be.
All right, Gary, in about 3 minutes or so, the teams will return to the ice, and then rugs will be put out on the ice as they line up for the introductions. All the players will be introduced, the USSR team first and the UMO team second. Both teams will line up on the blue line facing the Zamboni entrance to the ice. The flags will move out onto the ice and be introduced. The national anthem of the Soviet Union will be played first, followed by the national anthem of the United States. Gifts will be given to the Soviet captain in both languages. The captains will move toward each other, and they'll exchange pendants. Then the captains will shake hands. Then the captains will shake hands with the officials, and the officials at the timers table. A carpet will be taken out to center ice, and Dr. Arthur Johnson, the president of the Soviet Union, will drop the ceremonial first puck as the Sokol Kiev Falcons take the ice.
And to a standing ovation, the Maine fans are on their feet here as the Sokol Kiev team in their red uniforms, blue helmets, make their way out onto the ice. A standing ovation and a very special moment for Maine hockey. Bananas the Bear encouraging the fans on here, this full house on their feet, as Sokol Kiev will go down to their end of the ice. The Maine Black Bears will be coming out momentarily with the University of Maine pep band on hand here tonight. You'll hear the Maine Stein song and a big roar for the team coming out. Jean Lacoste will be starting in goal for Maine tonight. So Lacoste will lead the club out against the Soviet team, and you can bet there are going to be some tingles on the Maine players in their bodies here tonight as they come out for this, and a very fine hand being rendered to the Sokol Kiev team. On the ice now, lining up at the blue line at the far end, and here comes Maine. the teams go to their respective benches, let me make one note on this, and that'll be all that be said about it. There was a big hoorah about flag waving that might take effect here. I do not see one single flag being waved in this arena tonight. I think that is a tribute to the generosity and courtesy of the Maine fans towards the Soviet guests here this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Альфонд Arena and the University of Maine. State of Maine and the University of Maine is honored to welcome the Sokol Kiev hockey team from the Soviet Union. We welcome the Soviet team to the University of Maine in friendship, and we wish them all well as they continue their tour of the United States. We look forward to an exciting hockey contest this evening. Here to introduce the Russian players and coaches is Mr. Rusty Sidorowicz.
Добрый вечер, дорогие друзья-спортсмены! Штат Мэйн и университет приветствует вас, Сокол Киев, хоккейную команду из Советского Союза. Мы приветствуем здесь команду Советского Союза у нас в университете, как друзей, и желаем команде успеха в американском турне. Мы ждем и надеемся увидеть дружеское соревнование команд.
The introduction is a welcoming one to the Soviet team and to the University of Maine, wishing them well, and now the entire teams will be introduced.
Я сейчас буду вызывать номера. Будьте добры, какой номер будет вызван, подойдите к голубой линии здесь. Номер 3. Number 3. Александр Менченков, defense.
They'll be announced by numerals in that order.
Номер 4. Number 4. Анатолий Доника. Номер 5. Number 5. Сергей Горбушин. Номер 6. Олег Васюнин, defense. Номер 7. Number 7. Андрей Овчинников, forward. Номер 10. Number 10. Сергей Земченко, forward. Номер 11. Number 11. Анатолий Степанищев. Номер 12. Number 12. Валерий Сидоров. Номер 14. Number 14. Валерий Ширяев. Defense. Номер 15. Number 15. Алексей Кузнецов, forward. Номер 16. Number 16. Питер Малков, forward. Номер 17. Number 17. Рамил Юлдашев, forward. Номер 18. Николай Нариманов, forward. Номер 21. Сергей Давыдов, forward. Номер 22, number 22. Юрий Шундров, голы. Номер 23, number 23, Евгений Шастин. Forward. Номер 24, Николай Ладыгин, defense. Номер 26, number 26, Олег Синков, forward. Number 27, номер 27, Владимир Голубович, forward. Номер 30, number 30, Александр Васильев, Голы.
Number, there's two more. Number 29. I don't have
We have number 29, номер 29, Александр Куликов, forward.
Number 13.
И номер 13, Владимир Еловиков, at 2 reserves.
For the University of Maine, first, the starters for this evening. At left wing, number 10, Mike McHugh. At center, number 22, Dave Wensley. At right wing, number 17, John McDonald. Left defense, number 18, Jack Capuano. Right defense, number 5, Eric Weinrich. Starting in goal tonight will be number 25, Jean Lacoste. And the other Black Bears by line, number 9, Chris Gambio. Number 27, Bruce Major. Number 19, Bob Corkum. Number 14, Jay Mazer. Number 23, Todd Studnicka. Number 26, Steve Stantini. Number 16, Vince Giudotti. Number 24, Bob Brascia. Number 12, Ron Helen. Number 11, Dewey Wallen. Number 2, Neil Johnson. Number 15, Tom McComb. Number 7, Dave Nonis. Number 6, Scott Smith. Number 4, Rich Horrigan. Number 3, John Baker. And number 1, Rey Roy.
There are the introductions of both teams and all of the members of the unit. We are going to have a color guard presentation by the ROTC department here
Please
at
direct your attention to
University
the
of Maine.
southern end of the arena. The flags will come out in preparation for the national anthems.
Both teams will remain lined up at the blue line for the national anthems, and that will be followed by the exchange of gifts between the teams. The captains will come together. They're going to exchange hats in their exchange, and then there'll be pennants that are going to be exchanged as well. The Soviet and American flag being brought out from the Zamboni entranceway at the near end of the Альфонд Arena, and the Maine Pet Band and our national anthems for tonight's game. On hand here at the Альфонд, applauding as the color guard of the Army ROTC here at the University of Maine remains out on the ice. They'll be taking the flags off. The teams are now meeting. They are exchanging gifts as they come together at center ice. They are exchanging hats, the captains will, and there are pennants that are being exchanged by both sides, which will be gifts for the players to take with them in addition to everything that they've already bargained for here tonight, and we're going to be ready to go with hockey momentarily. We will have the dropping of the puck by President Arthur Johnson of the University of Maine here at Orono, as the carpet's being rolled out at center ice right now for President Johnson to come out and do that, and then we will be underway here tonight. Jam-packed house on hand here at the Альфонд Arena for this game, and it is an exhibition game. Will not count in the standings for the University of Maine Black Bears, who will take their Christmas break as soon as this game is over, and then we'll be returning on Christmas Day for practice here at the Альфонд Arena. Then the Maine Black Bears will be home against Colorado College for 2 games on Friday and Saturday of next week. Then the Bears will be on the road for the entire month of January, including a long trip out west against the WCHA opponents, Wisconsin and Minnesota. They are not going to return home until February 1st. They'll be on the road for the entire month in Hockey East WCHA play. The Bears come in with a record of 2-13-1. The Soviet team, Sokol Kiev, is appearing in its first game on this road trip to the United States. They'll be here for 17 days. They'll play 9 games, including games against other Hockey East teams, including Lowell and Boston University. They'll be playing BU down in Boston this coming weekend. And the Maine Black Bears, of course, will be off for the Christmas break and going home.
2 personnel notes for Maine, Gary. They're without goaltender Al Loring tonight, who has gone home for Christmas to British Columbia, and Sean Anderson, forward, who has left the team to go to the Canadian Olympic team.
Sean Anderson, of course, one of the top prospects for the draft in the National Hockey League, has been asked by the Canadian Olympic Committee to come join their Olympic tryout squad, and he is gone. In fact, this weekend he'll be traveling with a team in Europe. So one of the best players in college hockey, and only a youngster at 17, Sean Anderson, has left the club and is going to play with the Olympic team in Canada. And Eric Weinrich, who will play tonight, is going to be going with the U.S. national team, but only for a couple of weeks. But he will be leaving the team, in fact, after this Christmas break. Arthur Johnson now at center ice for the dropping of the puck. David Wensley out there helping to take the draw, and Peter Malkov for Sokol Kiev of the Soviet Union. They will present the puck to Arthur Johnson, who will take that as a memento, and we are going to be set to go with hockey before a packed house, and what we've been waiting for. Soviets have 4 lines and 4 sets of defensive pairings. Yuri Sindrov, who is in goal, 30 years old, 5'7", 154-pounder. Sindrov with the backup goaltender, Alexander Valishev. Valishev probably will not play tonight. They'll swap their goaltenders as they go from game to game. So in goal, Yuri Sindrov, the 30-year-old player. This team, average age of 26 years old. They have 1 19-year-old, 4 players who are 30 or older on this team, and they are the equivalent of a National Hockey League team in the elite division that they play in the Soviet Union. So they will have a good deal more experience. They will not be much bigger than the Maine Black Bears, however. They do not go for size in much of European hockey, including the Soviet Union, because they are looking for speed, puck handling, ability to have that nice soft touch, which is what they really like to do.
Passing and skating, and they circle all the time on their skates, keep moving back and around, looking for the puck, looking to get loose. They look for the breakaway and the easy shot, or else the tip-in.
Much of that European style we now see in American college hockey.
It's proved to work for the Soviets all these years, and it's caught on, you're right.
Sean Walsh was saying in our pregame show that much of that goes on here. The coaches and delegation include 30 people from the Soviet Union. We had a great time at the luncheon today, I'll tell you. They've rolled up the They've rolled up the carpet. We're about ready to go. David Wensley, Mike McHugh, John McDonald out there from Maine. Peter Malkov will take the draw against Wensley. It will be won by the Maine Black Bears back in their own end. Jack Capuano has it. Eric Weinrich, the Maine native, trying to clear it up and out. Intercepted. Shot on. Saved by Lacoste. Right away, Stepanichev intercepted that. Capuano got the rebound. He clears it out. Good check on the far side by Valery Shipyev. Back in behind the net, it'll be Donika. Donika on defense out there with Valery Shilyev. Again, not particularly big, but watch them skate. They love to weave. Zemchenko lost it. They'll go back to get it. Donika. They'll do that a lot tonight. Capuano almost intercepted, taken back, dumped in by Malkov, and there'll be an offside called, and the face-off will come out at center ice. Now, under international rules, face-offs tonight can occur anywhere, including right in front of the goaltender. That's not true in either National Hockey League play or in college hockey, but tonight, under the international rules, the face-off is where the whistle is. So if it happens to be right in front of the goaltender, that's where the face-off will take place.
Tonight's referee, Gary, is from the Hockey East, as are all the officials. Steve McBride.
Steve McBride doing the refereeing tonight with the 1-referee, 2-linesman system. Maine wins the draw, almost lost it. McComb in the corner, intercepted and controlled by Dalyadov. Dalyadov got it over on the right wing side into the corner. It is loose. Juliushev, good job keeping it alive, centered it, goes wide into the far side corner. Picked up there by Menchentov. Menchentov dumped it behind the net. Neil Johnson trying to clear it out to Bruce Major. Major tipped it up to the point. It'll be kept in by Sidorov. Intercepted Neil Johnson. Johnson coming down, one man back on defense. Johnson has it lost into the corner. Poke checked away nicely, centered out in front, swept to the sideboards. As Sokol Kiev, the Soviet Union team, in their red jerseys and blue helmets, playing this wide open brand of hockey. And one of the big changes you'll see between the Soviet style and American style is how often they'll go back in their own end, as they're doing right now. Menchentov just circling back in his own end, waiting for the line changes to take place, and they'll do that often. Anytime their momentum is broken, they'll simply dump it back into their own end and go get it. Puck loose at center, picked up by the Bears on the right, Bobby Corkum. Corkum will ram it in. He gets checked at center after he did. Going back to get it, Shundrov, the goaltender, dumped it into the corner, wheeled around to the near side. Vasilyev's got it. Vasilyev clears it out to center ice, taken there by Golubovich. Golubovich, dump pass. They'll do a lot of that. Poked away by Maine, into the corner loose. Major can't get it. Taken away by the Bears' Dave Nonis. Nonis in his own corner behind the net to Smith. Scott Smith up along the left wing boards. Cambio's able to clear it up, but not out. And we've got a whistle, and let's see what the call is going to be. Soviet player is going to the bench, favoring the right knee.
It's Golubovich, Gary. Vladimir Golubovich, the 32-year-old center.
Golubovich was in the far corner away from the play, and looks as though he's going to be all right. He's going out under his own power. Face-off will be outside the Maine blue line. Rob Brashev, Vince Gadati, and Ron Helen, the co-captain, out there. Face-off won by Maine. Back to Eric Weinrich. Weinrich will take it in behind his own net. Maine will have to work hard against the swift skating team in order to prevent them from domineering. The pass is going to be intercepted. Elyakev's shot, that goes wide, short side. Rebound kept in at the right point. Danica dumped it back in behind the Maine net. John Lacoste left it. Weinrich, he got checked off the puck. It is loose, and Soviet Union controlling. And at the point, shot saved by Lacoste, and he hangs on. Nice glove save. Anatoly Danica with a nice wrist shot from inside the blue line at center ice.
3 shots by Sokol Kiev so far, Gary. All 3 hard wrist shots.
They don't waste any time getting them off.
No wind up at all.
Don't wind up on their shots. You better be awake. David Wensley back out. Mike McHugh and John McDonald out there with him. Velimir Golubovich looks as though he's going to be all right on the bench. He was standing, and he was the person who went off with that bad knee, but it looks as though he's going to be okay. Menchentov on the draw, won by Wensley. Cleared around the boards McDonald. McDonald's going to get nailed. Puck underneath him, and that'll get a whistle. Frees it up for the draw right there. Sokol Kiev team had a lot of traveling to do. They were some 30 hours of traveling in order to get here. They had to arrive in Montreal and then bus down from Montreal, so it was not an easy trip for them. Faceoff will come top of the left circle inside the Maine zone. One back by David Wensley. Coming back to get it. Weinrich. Eric Weinrich, the Maine native, holding behind. Clears it on the left wing side. Maine not able to clear it out. As Sokol Kiev's keeping that puck in. Good job, Shiryev at the point that time. In the corner, Weinrich. Weinrich back out onto the point, rolls loose at center. And going back to get it, Ovchinnikov. Ovchinnikov lost it. Cleared in by Maine's David Wensley. Taken back, however, back in the far zone, Shiryev. Shiryev goes in behind his own net. They're trying to break a man up at the other end. Can't do it. Elyakovic cleared it back to center. Sinkov coming in down the left side. Sinkov dumps it back out, rolls all the way out to center ice. Both teams having trouble setting up. You can believe the jitters are probably having their effect early on. Sinkov clears it back into his own zone behind Sokol Kiev's end. Maine forechecking hard here will free the puck up at center ice on the centering pass. Bears have not been able to mount anything offensively now. Cleared in by the Bears from center. Lines changing up. Puck loose. Shot on. Save. Rebound kicked wide. And the Soviet Union gets it back. Cleared back out. Good play by Maine. Good pressure in front. First one they've had. Puck intercepted. Shot back out to center by the Bears. Tipped away by Mazur. Overskated. Re-intercepted by Zemchenko. Zemchenko clears it back to his defenseman. Sidorov coming up through center. Boy, they like to wheel and crisscross. Puck cleared into the Maine end. Top of the circle intercepted. Maine not able to get it out now. They do. Konstadnicka giving chase. Beaten to it. Menchentov back in his own end. Looking. Pass up ahead. Knocked away. Stemchenovich couldn't get it. Shot back out by the Bears. And going back to get it, Menchenkov. Alexander Menchenkov, 28-year-old defenseman, wheeling up through center ice. His pass goes off the far side boards. Danyefov had to go back to get it. It'll be brought back in by Stepanichev. Stepanichev clears it down into the corner. Dave Nonis on him. Nonis and Stepanichev collide. Puck loose. Tom McComb picks it up. McComb trying to get out of the zone. And Maine will. Brought back up by Bruce Major. Cleared into Cambio, left side. Cambio holding. Dropped it back. Corkum around one man. Good move. Centered it. Scott Smith can't get a stick on it. Smith tipped it in. Shot on. Knocked away Sindrov. Good play by the goaltender Yuri Sindrov on that one. As Maine got a good shot off. Puck cleared all the way down into the Maine end. Dave Nonis back to get it. Each team changing up. Nonis head manning ahead. Intercepted. They are quick with their sticks. Ovchinnikov dropped it. Nonis intercepted again. Up ice. Brought down the left by Cambio. Cambio got tied up. Dumped back in behind the net. Gabushkin on defense. The captain of the team. Sergei Gabushkin, number 5, out there on defense. It'll be brought up Sokol Kiev. Centering pass goes through everybody. There'll be no icing on it. Lacoste, yes, there will. That's a 2-line pass right there. You cannot throw a pass over 2 lines here. And if you do, you're going to have the NHL icing rule in effect, and that's exactly what's happened here. We'll go down to the far end to the right of Yuri Sindrov, the goaltender, for the faceoff.
One thing working to Maine's advantage in this game, Gary, is that they're playing in a small rink. If the Soviet team had more room to skate, wheel, and deal, they'd be more dangerous.
No score, 14:53 to go first period. Dewey Wallen will move out to take the draw. Wallen, Velimir Golubovich. back out on his line now with that knee that took him off momentarily. One back shot on, that's deflected wide. Capuano wound up. Weinrich clears it right back in behind the Soviet net. Picked back up by Kiev. They clear it out. Weinrich back to get it. Weinrich holding. Weinrich tips it on the left side. Puck is loose. Gadati could not hang on to it. Vince Gadati out there, another Maine native on this club. Yashinian cleared it behind the net. Ronnie Helen steps up to try and keep it in. Puck loose again. Helen forechecking up there. Kiev has the puck back in their own zone. Davyadov dumps it back to the defense. Maine with double forecheckers. Nice tip pass out through the middle. Front back in by the Sokol Kiev team, dumped into the corner by Davyadov. Davyadov lost it. Taken back by Kulиков, who's centering passes on Gadati's stick. Vince Gadati trying to break out. He gets hauled down at center ice. Kulикov will leave it for the defenseman to go back and get it. Gabushkin. Sergei Gabushkin, who is 27 years old, is the captain of this team. And notice how they set up. They wind up, literally winding up big circles, contrary to American hockey. Brought in by Narimanov. Shot deflected. Picked up by McDonald. John McDonald running into the official McBride. Could not control it. Look at that nice stick handling pass off the boards. Danica got it in. Centered out through the blue line. Circle shot saved by Lacoste. And he'll hang on. We've got a break in the action here at the Альфонд with a score. Maine and Sokol Kiev 0-0. Face-off will be to the left of Jean Lacoste. Valdemir Golubovich will take the draw against David Wensley, the sophomore for Maine. Wensley won it back. Maine winning draws in this game early on. Neil Johnson behind his own net. Back on the far side to Tom McComb, back to Johnson, D to D. Maine trying to clear it out, knocked away. Wensley got it out through center. Wensley with a nice body check taken off. McHugh brings it in. McHugh rolled it in on goal, pushed away by Shundrov. And we've got a penalty coming up. A penalty call, and it's going to be interference. And we're going to have our first power play of the game coming up right here. No score in this one with 13:21 remaining. And we'll get the call from down in the box on the penalty here. And it will be the first one of the game, and Maine will have the power play.
Shots on goal, Gary, are 3-2 in favor of Sokol Kiev so far.
Sokol penalty on number 23, Evgeny Shastin. 2 minutes for interference at 6:39.
Shastin gets called for interference. Evgeny Shastin called for interference. We'll have another face-off here. It'll be inside the Sokol Kiev blue line. Maine's had their problems with power plays this season. Their effective rate has not been good. They are only 12% on power plays. They got a shot at it right here. The draw, though, is going to be one back into the Maine end. Lacoste will have to come back to get it. Maine with the advantage, skating 5-on-4. Jack Capuano in behind his own net. Will wait to set it up. Wensley comes back to get the puck. Wensley with a forechecker on him, dumped it back. Weinrich, he gets met at center ice. Good play. They're going to challenge Maine. Puck cleared down into the Maine end. Lacoste out of the net, hanging on to it. Sokol Kiev had two players moving in on him. Capuano on the right to Weinrich. Back on the other wing to Wensley. Wensley will clear it down the side. Just got it in the zone as he got checked hard by Sidorov. Cleared in behind the net. Weinrich at the right point. Weinrich holding back on the other side, top of the circle. Maine having trouble getting set up. Soviet Union coming right at Maine, intercepted, and it will be cleared out to center. Weinrich coming back to get it. Gulyashev, Ravel Gulyashev, 25-year-old forward, get that one out. Capuano brings it back in, lost it, and cleared back the other way by Menchentov. Weinrich coming back to get it. Eric Weinrich will circle behind his own net as Sokol Kiev changes up here on their penalty-killing unit. Weinrich waiting. It'll be Bruce Major, back to Weinrich in the middle. Sokol Kiev challenging Maine. Helen in the middle on a tip pass. Clears it into the corner. John McDonald giving chase. The big Mack attack here. Mack centers it, tipped away by the goaltender. McDonald gets it back behind the nets. So Yuri Shundrov in goal. Centering pass is lost, and the Soviet Union will get it right back down to the Maine end. Coming back to get it, Capuano. 37 seconds to the Maine power play. Intercepted again. Good play here. Nice backhanded pass into the far corner. Soviet Union just winding down Maine's power play. 31 seconds. Major behind the net. Bruce Major will circle up on the left wing side and drop back to Capuano on the right. Shot Smith. Scott Smith coming in off the boards. Giving chase Bruce Major. Major going in with Gorbushkin. Gorbushkin and Major collide. Centered back out. Maine trying to keep it in. They do. 14 seconds on the power play. Into the corner to Cambio. Cambio behind the net. Major back out onto the point. Trying to get it to Smith. Intercepted Cambio though. Cambio in the circle. Back on Major. Major in front. Trying to jam it. Put it right through the crease. Major got a good pass off, but nobody was there to tip it. Power play is over. Soviet Union killed it off. Scott Smith, right side shot. Deflected out deep by the defense. And it'll be brought back out. Back on the attack, Shastin. Shastin clears it into the main end, and this is going to be icing. And it'll have to be touched up first, and it is. We've got a break in the action with a score. Sokol, Kiev, and Maine, 0-0. Face-off will come to the left of Yuri Shundrov. No score here in the first period. 11:06 to go. Maine wins the draw. Neil Johnson on the left point rams it back in behind the net. Maine trying to set something up here. Back 5-on-5 now. In behind the net. Centered shot by Santini goes wide. Santini set up perfectly, and he rammed that one high. Back to get it. Mazer dumps it behind the net. Brasha centered, tipped, save made by Shundrov. Shundrov with a good right pad save. Two good opportunities for Maine. Intercepted by Sokol Kiev. Stepanišević cleared it up, and it will be brought down into the main end. Those are the best scoring opportunities Maine's had in the game. Chased down into the corner. It'll be taken by Stepanišev. Stepanišev getting it out into the point, side of the net. A lone shot, fanned on. They had that one open. Zemchenko had the shot, couldn't get it. Back out in front. Stepanchenkov lost it. Deflected off John Baker. Back to get it Johnson. He just wants to freeze it up. He gets hit from behind, no whistle. Zemchenko colliding. Maine digs it out, but they're not going to control it. Taken behind the net, centered off the back of the net. Lacoste will play it. Malkov, the chance on that one. Baker lost it. Out in front, it is loose. Side of the net, poked away from Stepanišev, and finally cleared out by the Bears. This will be an icing call if it crosses the goal line. It does not. Two-line pass. I'm not sure what that one was. We may have a penalty. We do. So the whistle was on a penalty. It'll be an elbowing call coming up. And it is going to be on Maine's Neil Johnson. Neil Johnson is going to go out, so we'll see Sokol Kiev on their first power play opportunity here. That will come at 10:03 of the first period. Neil Johnson off for elbowing. He may have got another one. They've got a double minor up there on the board.
Neil Johnson, 2 minutes for elbowing and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Time of the penalty, 10:03.
Sure, Neil won't be very happy with that. Neil Johnson gets it on sportsmanlike conduct and a 2-minute minor for elbowing, so he picks up a double minor here. So it'll be a 4-minute power play for Sokol Kiev. Faceoff will be outside the Soviet zone. What a chance they had at the side of the net. Shot was fanned on. Lacoste was all by himself with a goal scorer potentially about 5 feet away. On the draw, it'll be won by Sokol Kiev power play. Kulиков. Kulиков on the right side will bring it in and shut down there. Kulиков holding. They'll work along the blue line. Wind up. Shot save on the right pad by Lacoste as Shundrov got the shot off. Kept alive on the right side by Davıdov. Davıdov got it back out to Shundrov. Shundrov in the corner. Kulиков to Shundrov. Left side shot. That's wide of the net. Defenseman Menchенков took that one. And it's going to be controlled by Юлдашев. Юлдашев skating in, lost it. McDonald got it. McDonald cleared it back over, and it's cleared out by Major. John McDonald on the interception. Bruce Major clears it out. Sokol Kiev back in their own end, lost it. Santini almost intercepted that one. Steve Santini up forechecking on the penalty killing unit. Mike McHugh now doing the job. Maine sending one forechecker in, now two as Santini moves in. 26 Steve Santini holding the Soviet Union down in the zone momentarily here. Soviet Union on a 4-minute power play. They bring it into the main end. Knocked down and lost. Santini will clear it out. As Sergei Davıdov fell down coming into the zone. Back to get it, Vazhunkin. Oleg Vazhunkin in behind his own net. Each team changing up here. 2:45 on the power play for Sokol Kiev. Pass is deflected up and into the stands, and somebody's got a souvenir, and the face-off will be where it was tipped, which is out near the red line.
This has been a trademark of Soviet teams, Gary. They wear you down, wait for you to make a mistake or take a penalty. They're very tough on the power play because of their passing stick handling ability, because they have such soft hands receiving a pass.
Anatoly Bogdanovic on the bench wearing that beautiful Soviet fur hat over there. All the team members have those. Face-off is won by the Sokol Kiev team. They're circling at center, trying to set it up. Todd Studnicka along with Baker on defense and Weinrich and Bobby Korkum. Just wheeling at center ice here, trying to set up something, trying to make the Maine players commit themselves. They don't. Weinrich intercepts and clears it out. Sokol Kiev a little confused, I think, that Maine's not coming at them. They're letting the skating go on at center ice. Vazhunkin clears it up on the right wing side, back through center ice. It'll be brought in, down through the middle. On goal, shot went wide on the short side. Good chance by Narimanov, cleared out by Maine. Good play by Weinrich on the hard check. 2 minutes remaining, so Maine's killed off half of this power play. Sokol Kiev, no score here with a 5-4 advantage. In on goal, held up, centered, shot, score! A perfect setup that time from the left side by Shastin. Evgeny Shastin put that one out in front. And Lacoste had already had to commit himself for the tip-in. Jawas Shastin coming in on the right side. Made an excellent play. Shastin got around the defender, and then rather than taking the shot himself, put a very soft pass right out in front and had the man breaking, who took it on the forehand and shot the backhand. It's a pretty good move.
Narimanov will get that goal, I believe, Gary, number 18.
All right.
Check on the scoring, but picture-perfect passing.
Very nice play. We'll get the call on it here as soon as the official scorers get it. But a very nice setup. Breaking in again on goal. Shot saved by Lacoste. What a save. Oh, what a quick glove. As Vladimir Ilyonikov broke in alone on the left wing side and was all by himself. And Lacoste with that quick glove. Jean Lacoste has been injured much of this season and is just getting back after about 3 weeks away. So the Soviet Union, Sokol Kiev, takes a 1-0 lead here. Face-off will be to the right side. Ovchenko won the draw. Shot on, deflected back out to the point. Rolls wide. Danica back to get it. Alatani Danica. Danica clears it back to Shilyev. Shilyev coming in. Shilyev, the defenseman, holds it up. Dumped it into the middle.
Narimanov, assisted by number 23, Evgeny Shastin.
Save made by Lacoste on that one. 12:14 was the time of the goal. Narimanov got it. Nikolai Narimanov, a 28-year-old forward, picks up the goal. And Shastin got the assist on that. And it is 1-0. Sokol Kiev on top. Face-off coming in the main end to the left of Lacoste. It'll be Bobby Corkum taking the draw. Corkum wins it back up. Capuano could not control it. In front, shot on, deflected off Eric Weinrich's stick. Good setup that time. Zemchenko and Malkov. Malkov in the corner, knocked down. Puck loose. Weinrich has it. Weinrich trying to break to Corkum. Corkum's got a man open. Left side. Cambio. Shot just went wide. Cambio zinged that one to the wide side and did not connect. Zemchenko tries to clear it up and out through center. Knocked right back into the Soviet end. They're going to go back there and wheel and deal. Stepanichev clearing it on the left wing side. Zemchenko can't get it. Rolls in on goal. Lacoste will tip it off to the side. Played there by Bruce Major. Major trying to get it up to Corkum does. Bobby Corkum, the Massachusetts native. Football, baseball, hockey, all state cleared in. That's going to be an offside. We've got a break in the action with a score. Sokol Kiev 1 and Maine 0. Face-off will be outside the Sokol Kiev blue line. It'll be Todd Studnicka, Jay Mazer, and Santini on the line for Maine. Studnicka won the draw. It's cleared in. Left side to Mazer. Jay Mazer's centering pass is intercepted, taken by Vashien. Vashien clearing it up through center ice. Sokol Kiev leading. They've got it in. 2-on-1 break. Shot. Score! They had the break and they took the shot. And that is Ramil Yuldashev, 25 years old. Yuldashev coming down the right side. And there you see that great speed that this team has. They are getting around the Maine defenseman right now. And look at that wrist shot. Just ripped it on the wide side. Lacoste reacted to the short side. And Yuldashev shot it back to the wide side. And it is 2-0. Sokol Kiev out on top here. 13:39 will be the time of that goal. Yuldashev gets it, and it is 2-0. Sokol Kiev jumping out to a 2-0 lead, wins the draw at center and clears it in. Scott Smith behind his own net. They keep the puck in, shot on wide of the net. Lacoste tips it into the corner. Hard checking out in front of the net going on. Studnicka puts a good check on in the corner. Sokol Kiev controlling. Look at them wheel through center ice. Behind the net, shot and a score. Tipped in front by Evgeny Shastin. Shastin is playing himself a game. Shastin now with a goal and an assist, and Sokol Kiev just working the puck around and around in front of goaltender Jean Lacoste, and they've taken a 3-0 lead.
There's another look at it right in front. Bang, behind Lacoste.
Boy, they don't take very long. Shastin gets the goal. It is 3-0. Sokol Kiev out on top. Evgeny Shastin, 26 years old, 5'10", 164 pounds. And the Maine fans are seeing some skating taking place here tonight. At center, Ovchinnikov on the draw. Ovchinnikov won it against David Wensley. Gets it back into the middle. Sinkov shoots it wide. Lacoste can't play this one into the corner. It's going to be dug out by Maine's Mike McHugh. McHugh trying to get it up and out to the point. Can't. Drilled right back into the Maine zone. They are top of the points. Puck loose along the boards. Ovchinnikov, McHugh got it back behind the net to Eric Weinrich. Weinrich holding. Weinrich on the forecheck, got it up in front of McHugh. McHugh tried to wheel around the defenseman and could not. Good play by Yuldashev, who just scored that goal. Yuldashev taking that puck away, and now we've got a whistle, and we're going to have an icing call, and the faceoff will come back out at center ice. 2 line passes cannot occur under the international rules here in this game, so a 2-line pass constitutes an offsides, and that's different, of course, than they have in college hockey. It's the National Hockey League rule. It's the biggest difference I think you'll see in tonight's game. All right, at center on the draw, it'll be Bruce Major taking it. Major won it for Maine. Back to Dave Nonis. 5:15 remaining here in the period. Puck is kept in as it hits the official again and kept in. Bobby Corkum trying to clear it out. Knocked down by the defenseman at the point. Yuldashev there. So Soviets bring it right back in. Tipped in on Lacoste. He will cover up on this one. We've got a break in the action. The score, Sokol, Kiev 3 and Maine nothing. Face-off coming to the left is Jean Lacoste. Ramil Yuldashev, who just scored the goal against Bobby Corkum on the draw. Yuldashev won it, but it rolls all the way back to center ice. Vazhunian back to get it. Oleg Vazhunian and Sergei Gabushkin, the captain, on defense out there. Puck is loose right in front of the benches. Maine trying to dig it out. Sokol Kiev does, however. And it will be cleared in on the right wing side. Zemchenko shuts down, holding it. Stepanichev shot just deflected wide. Lacoste got a piece of that one. Kept in on the left side by Vazhunian. His shot deflected by Lacoste. Rebound Zemchenko behind the net. Zemchenko got it at Stepanovic holding it behind the net. Puck now loose in the corner. Going back to get it. Sokol Kiev putting pressure on Maine right here. They can dig it out in behind the net. Dave Nonis. Nonis trying to get it out of there against the double forecheck. Bobby Corkum now will just ram it up ice, and that's going to be an icing call coming up. It has to be touched up, and it is at the far end by Gabushkin. And we'll come back down the other way. There are no icings unless they're touched up, just as the National Hockey League rule is. In college, once it crosses that goal line, it's an automatic icing. But we do away with that in this game. During our first intermission, you'll see the first segment of the tape, which is used by the Maine hockey coaches in their recruiting efforts. A chance to take a look at that. It is going to be kept in by Sokol Kiev. In front, all alone. Shot, save Lacoste. Rebound high in the air, glove down by Capuano, and covered up by Lacoste, who falls on Capuano.
That is stick handling, folks.
Yuldashev, look at that shot right on goal. They're taking their shots 3 or 4 feet in front of Jean Lacoste. These aren't shots, these are high percentage shots. And they have such quick wrist shots. They really get a lot of zip. Todd Studnicka taking this draw to the left of his goaltender. Golubovich waiting, face-off, 1, back to the point, shot on, that's deflected wide. Good shot by Shuryev. Maine can't get the puck out of the zone. Delyadov kept it in. Weinrich now gets it. Weinrich behind the net. Capuano, an easy pass to Jay Mazur. Mazur tips it up and out. Maine at a 2-on-1 break, but they can't control the puck. Coming back to get it, Kulykov. Kulykov wheeling it wide of the Maine net. Lacoste out will let it go. Pushed away. Good play by Mazur. Mazur gets it. Capuano kept that puck alive in there. But it's kept in by Sokol Kiev in behind the net. Delyadov into the corner. Lost it, holding it. Sergei Delyadov. Delyadov looking, stick handling, holding, still holding. Beautiful pass. Shot goes wide of the net. A great backhand pass to Kulykov. Maine 2-on-1. Studnicka with Mazur. Studnicka holding. Shot. Mazur tipped it wide. Rebound in behind the net. Maine with a 2-on-1 break. Could not convert on it. And Sokol Kiev comes back the other way. Kulykov on the right wing side. Shot saved by Lacoste. As Delyadov got the shot off on the pass by Kulykov, and Lacoste makes another save. John Lacoste hasn't played for a while. He's seeing a lot of shots here in the first period. Gary Thorne and Joe Carr with you. Great to have you with us for this international moment in Maine sports and hockey history. As the Maine takes on Sokol Kiev, the Soviet team touring the East here, and this is their first game of their 17-day trip. 9 games will be played. Maine winning it back to Baker. Tom McComb up along the boards. Intercepted again right out in front. Shot. That just went wide. Boy, they get it off. Sidorov got that one off. Puck kept alive by Maine now in their own end. McDonald can't find it. McDonald backs it up to McComb. McComb clearing it on the far side. McHugh giving the chase. McHugh got to it. He got rammed against the Sokol Kiev bench and coming right back there. Sokol Kiev will get it in their own zone, start winding up again. Narimanov to Golubovich. Coming down the left side, Golubovich in, drop pass into the middle. Look at that, right in, shot, save, Lacoste. Oh, what a save. And what a setup out in front that time with a great drop pass, shot deflected in front, rebound, knocked away, rebound front of the circle, tipped wide. Lacoste can't reach it. Baker pushes it off into the corner. As Narimanov was there, Maine finally clears it out. Mike McHugh. McHugh, one step, shot, that goes wide. Rebound, McDonald giving chase into the corner. Menchenkov has it. Menchenkov got wrapped hard by McDonald. Sokol Kiev still has it. And they cleared back through center. Golubovich shot, that goes wide. Back out onto the right point, kept in by Gabushkin. Gabushkin dropped it back, tipped wide by McComb, taken by McDonald. John McDonald at his own blue line. Maine trying to complete a change here. Pass over to Wensley. Wensley lost his stick. Rolls back in to the Sokol Kiev end. Golubovich got it. Golubovich cleared it up to the Maine zone. Maine will have to touch this one up. There'll be no icing. Back to get it Smith. Smith coming out himself will headman it up. Smith to Godotti. Godotti could not reach it. Taken back by the defenseman, Yajnian. Yajnian's pass at center, intercepted by Maine's Dewey Wallen. Wallen had it pickpocketed by Ovchinnikov. Ovchinnikov just stepped in from behind and picked that one up. Andrei Ovchinnikov. Ovchinnikov dropping the pass in the middle. That's where they like to set it up. Yajnian, shot, deflected off Dave Nonis' stick. Behind the net, it is loose. Taken there by Sokol Kiev out in front. They can skate. Sinkov dropped it into the corner. Elyakov knocked down by Smith. Sinkov battling. And the defensemen move in to help out here. Ovchinnikov back to the point. Shot on, saved by Lacoste. We've got a break in the action with a score. Sokol Kiev 3 and Maine nothing.
Sean Lacoste was nothing but a duck in a shooting gallery just before this break. 3 quick saves on some great shots. Most of them down low.
Or they can set it up. 1 minute left to go in the period. Sokol Kiev keeping it in, trying to get it out in front again. Back behind the net on Chenyakov. On Chenyakov's centering pass, tipped away by Major up to Bobby Corkum. He can't reach it. Vashnian going back to get it. Vashnian and Corkum. 42 seconds remaining here in the first period of play. Vashnian out there on defense, gets forecheck back in behind the net. Puck tipped right up in front of the net and goes on top of the net. Don't see that very often. The puck was tipped behind the net by Chris Cambio of Maine, and it went up in the air, and fortunately for the Soviet goaltender Yuri Shundrov, it did not fall off his back into the net. Instead, it landed on the top of the net. 3-0. Sokol Kiev out on top with 34 seconds remaining here. Goals at 12-14, 13-39, and 14-07. So they got a couple of quick ones, and they've had some good shots. Face-off, it rolls out to center ice. Maine back to get it. Maine would like to get a couple of good shots up here if they can. Weinrich ahead to Studnicka, intercepted by Danica. Danica battling at center, lost it. Studnicka coming with Mazur. Studnicka, shot, deflected. That goes off into the balcony. And that'll get a face-off down in the Sokol Kiev end.
We really haven't been able to gauge Shindrov's style or ability yet because he hasn't seen that many shots, but he's very small. He's 5'7", 154 pounds, and he's shown that he's real quick.
It's the name of the game for this Sokol Kiev team, as it is for most of the European teams. Quickness and speed and good passing. All right, Maine will try to draw back to the point here to get a shot off if they can. Scott Smith is back there. John McDonough will be taking the draw from Maine against Kulykov. Won by Kulykov. He pushes it up, and it will just roll out to center ice. And back to get it, Stepanichev. Stepanichev had to dump it back in his own zone now. 11 seconds left to go. McDonald up, forechecking hard. Maine not able to get that puck loose, though. Cleared the other way. That is going to be an icing call if it's touched up. Lacoste, though, has to play it. Maine could not get there in time. Now they get the whistle, and we'll go back the other way. That had crossed the goal line before Lacoste touched it, I guess, is what they called. And we'll go back the other way. This is tough for the officials, too, because they do not use these international rules, but probably this once. So it's not easy to remember exactly what rules they are following here. Face-off will come at center ice. And there's the whistle, the buzzer, and that's going to do it for the first period. So the Sokol Kiev team will go into the first intermission with a lead and some pretty good skating. The Maine Black Bears seeing about what they expected from this club, and that's some outstanding speed. That's the end of the first period. Sokol Kiev 3, Maine nothing. They'll be back for our first intermission in just 2 minutes.
We're back at the Альфонд Arena between periods 1 and 2. Sokol Kiev leading Maine by a score of 3-0. A well-played first period for both teams, particularly Sokol Kiev, obviously by the score. This very large crowd here tonight, one of the largest ever in Maine hockey history.
Nikolai Narimanov has been called for a penalty at 3:57. Too many men on the ice. Narimanov will serve it. Maine's got their second power play of the games. Sokol Kiev has scored a power play goal. Cleared back down to the Sokol Kiev end, but they are back there to get it. Sidorov just shoots it out. Dave Nonis at center. Maine on the power play for the second time in the game. They did not score their first time out. Dave Nonis coming ahead. Nonis clears it back in behind the Maine net. Shundrav watching it go around. Maine almost had it out in front, intercepted. Maine keeps it in. Scott Smith at the blue line, ramming it back in behind the net. Major tried to center, had it tipped away. Cambio dumps it behind the net to Major. He's going to get rammed up against the boards. Lost it. Puck shot up along the boards, and Sokol Kiev will clear it back out again. Yuldashev coming down the left side, got tied up, cleared it in, right wing corner. And Sokol Kiev in a short-handed effort right here. Ovchinnikov behind the net, tipped it. They're keeping it alive down there, and a puck almost went in. The light went on. The light stays on. Yeah, the official apparently did not think it went in, and they're going to wave it off. That was almost a short-handed goal. Sidorov at the right point cannot control it. Maine's got a power play 55 seconds, but they don't have the puck. Landugin at the blue line, and we're going to get the puck knocked down with a high stick. And the face-off will come outside the Sokol Kiev blue line.
This team is nearly as dangerous short-handed as they are at even strength.
They don't change the style of play.
They come right at them.
They're still looking to make the play. Sergei Zemchenko, 25-year-old forward wearing number 10. Will be out there to take the draw. 5'9", 153-pounder. Maine won it. Wensley got it in. Kept in by Ronnie Helen to Wensley. Back out onto the point. Challenged. Puck is loose and back the other way. Shiryev got it out. Intercepted at center by the Bears. Leon McDonald can't get it. Maine has it now. Capuano's pass goes behind Ronnie Helen. Kept in McDonald. He gets hauled down. No penalty called. And Capuano did not see it in his skates and lost it. And Sokol Kiev brings it back. Shiryev cleared it up ahead. Maine's got 23 on the power play now. Shiryev back at his own blue line, controlling, dumps it back to Danica. Danica in his own zone will just wind up, go around Ronnie Helen. Poke checked away by Maine. Puck sitting there. Bears with a 2-on-1, brought in offside. Steve Santini's pass to Ronnie Helen was behind him, and that resulted in the offside being called, and that's a break for Sokol Kiev on that one. Each team will change up here with 14:13 to go, second period. Great to have you with us. Hope you are enjoying this on radio and television as the Maine Black Bears and Sokol Kiev square off in this first game of the Sokol Kiev tour. A great banquet today in Bangor, welcoming Sokol Kiev to the United States. Very personable, the entire delegation from the Soviet Union. The draw goes back down deep into the main end. They only have 4 seconds to work in their power play, and they're not going to get anything off on this one. It's over. So in the second power play, Maine 0 for 2 now in power play opportunities. Maine will clear the puck down into the Sokol Kiev end behind the net. Hard check by Todd Studnicka. Puck loosened up, but it's cleared out through center ice and back the other way. Kuliev bringing it in. His drop pass right on John Lacoste, who hangs on. Gulyakov teaming up with Sergei Delyadov on that one. Yeah, I tell you, their passing is something to behold. They will carry that puck as deep as they can into the zone. The deeper the better, and they'll hold on to shots that most teams would take. They'll just hang on, and use defensemen, if they can, as screens. Sokol Kiev on the draw. They win it out onto the left point. Menchenkov brought it in. Chenyakov lost it. Into the corner, it is loose, and dug out of there by McComb. McComb around the net. Johnson, Mazur's got it in the corner, just trying to kick it away there, frees it up. Comes right back to him. Mazur trying to get out of the zone, can't. It's taken right away. Good play by Yuldashev. Yuldashev dropped it in the corner to Dudyankin. Shot right through the middle. Nobody there to tip it in. Maine will get it back. Maine not passing well here. Pass at center goes wide. Todd Studnicka picks it up. Studnicka clearing it ahead. Santini tipped it in. Good pass to Neil Johnson. Johnson got taken off the puck. Good hard check put on the near side boards by Sidorov. Carried up, not up. Kept in. Shot by Maine. Save made by Shundrav as Maine got the shot off along the point. Cleared up ahead. Back the other way. Yuldashev dropped it off. Shot. Fanned on. Back out onto the point. Menchenkov in the middle. Right side. Shot. That's deflected wide on the short side by Yuldashev. And it rebounds all the way down to the Sokol Kiev end. Again, great setups taken there. All right, Sokol Kiev will circle back behind their own net. Oleg Vashinin. Vashinin dropped it off to Golubovich. Centering pass. Shastin tied up. Golubovich lost it. Maine takes it back. Bears just getting out of the zone now. Trying to break a man up. They cannot hit Bruce Major. Puck intercepted. Golubovich dropped it back to Vashinin. Vashinin clears it back to Golubovich. Golubovich dropping it to defenseman Gabushkin, their captain. Cleared it in. Players knocked down, puck loose. Into the corner, Gabushkin, the defenseman, going deep. They'll send their players anywhere. Behind the net, Scott Smith. Smith up to Vince Gadati. Gadati's pass off the center boards as he got knocked down is loose. And Sokol Kiev will control. Vashinin. Vashinin back in his own end to Gabushkin. Gabushkin in front of his goaltender, holding. Those tip passes, this one doesn't work. The puck rolls back down to the Sokol Kiev end. Cleared back up, right in front of goal now, covered up by Shindrov. We've got a break in the action with a score. Sokol Kiev 3 and Maine nothing. John McDonald from Maine, Andrei Ovchinnikov. Ovchinnikov, 25 years old in there at 5'8", 151-pounder. The center taking the draw and winning it. Sokol Kiev controlling. They'll take it out of their own end. Nice centering pass of Ovchinnikov. Ovchinnikov coming down. Holding. Takes the shot just wide. Oh, what a wrist shot he had. Rebound loose along the boards, Mike McHugh. McHugh trying to dig it out of there. Does. Pushed it out the center. But Sokol Kiev will come right back to get it. Tremendous stick handling and passing in this game by Sokol Kiev. Sokol Kiev putting on a show. Down the middle. Shot on Lacoste. Came out. Blocked it. Good play. Ovchinnikov got the shot off. Lacoste made the save. Kept in at the right point. Centered right in front. Knocked away. McDonald. Puck still in the zone. McHugh. McHugh's going to get taken off at center. Corkham's pass on the far side. David Wensley can't get it. Tipped in. Maine will control it. McDonald dropped it in the middle. Shot that just went wide by Jack Capuano. Capuano got the shot off. Good play. And Sokol Kiev playing with the puck in front of the goaltender now, but they'll not have to pay for it as Sidorov got it out of there. Cleared back up through the middle. Brought down through center by Sinkov. Sinkov lost it. Maine's Studnicka. Studnicka pushes it off to Mazur, and we'll get a two-line pass on that one and a whistle. I'll tell you, Maine's had some chances in this game, Joe.
They're playing well. They're playing their style to the extent that they can. Soviets spend a lot of, or put a lot of emphasis on conditioning and practice and things like that, but not a lot on equipment. Their skates are interesting. They don't have much upper ankle support, and the Maine players have skates that look like ski boots compared to the Soviet skates.
Doesn't seem to affect their skating any,
No, they do the trick all right.
All right, Maine clearing the puck out of the zone. At center, one-on-one chance knocked away by the defenseman of Sokol Kiev. Down the left side, Stepanichev. Stepanichev got tied up. Gets the puck loose, though. Stepanichev shot deflected. Rebound deflected behind the net. Sergei Zemchenko. Zemchenko checked off. Puck is loose. Coming in, Stepanichev. Stepanishev's got it to Zemchenko. Zemchenko drops it back out onto the point. Danica couldn't get it. Maine intercepts. Bears are trying to break somebody out, but the Sokol Kiev defense is dropping back and not letting Maine break a man free. 3-0 Sokol Kiev on top. They have the puck. Back in their own end, Zemchenko. Zemchenko over to Stepanovic. Stepanovic dropping it. Good pass. Well, shot on. That went wide. Defenseman Seryev got the shot. Kept it on the right side by Stepanovic. Dumped it down into the corner. Right in front of the net. Centering pass knocked away. Bears have it. And they'll clear it out length of the ice. It was tipped. Shindrov goes into the corner to get at the goaltender. He'll leave it there for his defenseman, Danica. Danica, that nice quick pass as they come back out. Kulykov on the left wing side. Delyadov in! Tried to center. Lacoste knocked it away. Good play by Jean Lacoste as he intercepted the centering pass that was going through the crease that time. Maine back the other way. Lost the puck, Bobby Corkum. Back in front. Held on to Cambio. Shot saved by Shindrov. Good play by Shindrov. We've got a break in the action with a score. Sokol Kiev 3, Maine nothing. Well, he had a chance on that one. Shot on goal on Shindrov, who had to make the save as Chris Cambio intercepted it. Cambio, the freshman from North Providence, Rhode Island. Maine wins the draw out onto the point. Scott Smith just able to keep it in. Bruce Major, number 27, going into the corner. Knocked away by the defenseman Gabushkin. And Gabushkin got the pass up, and it will be taken back out. Sokol Kiev, Menchentov cleared it out. In on goal at the other end, tipped away. Narimanov into the corner. It is loose there. Major battling. Puck along the boards, cleared up by Major. Maine's got a chance for a 2-on-1. Sokol Kiev right back there, though. They are quick. Bobby Corkum brings it in. Drop down into the far corner. Corkum trying to put the check on Kent. The pass off the boards. Venetian right to himself. Now goes back behind the net. Good play on defense. Gabushkin, the captain, clears it up on the right wing side. Golubovich lost it out there. Now back the other way, offside. As the passing along the blue line. Plenty quick. Not quite quick enough that time. 8:41 remaining to go, second period. As Sokol Kiev on top here. by a score of 3-0, getting all the goals in the first period. At 12:14, 13:39, and 14:07, the time of the goals. Menchemkov getting one, Yuldashev getting one, and Shastin the other. What a power play goal, their first one. He's had only 3 penalties in the game. At center, puck is loose. John McDonald falling down, trying to dig it out, can't. Brought back the other way. Yuldashev brought it in, left wing side, centered right in front, saved by Lacoste. Good left pad save. Went in between the legs, but he held on to it. Ovchinnikov coming in, set up by Yuldashev. And John Lacoste coming back off an injury to his hamstring. Playing some good goal here tonight for Maine. Maine's starting goaltender, not here, has gone to British Columbia for the Christmas vacation period, so he's not playing, but Lacoste is doing the job out there tonight. Sokol Kiev controlling, shot on, saved by Lacoste again. Oleg Sinkov getting that shot inside the right wing circle. Lacoste is going to know he's been in a game when he gets through with this action. Tell you though, for the Maine Black Bears, he's playing the kind of game that he can play, and in Division I, he'd have a team held to nothing probably here tonight. Face-off will be to the left of Jean Lacoste. Andrei Ovchinnikov, number 7, out to take the draw for Sokol Kiev. Players moving in are whistled back out. Todd Studnicka will take it for Maine. Studnicka, one of the better draw players for Maine. Puck sitting there in the circle. Maine's able to clear it out, trying to break a man, but Sokol Kiev right back there. Shiryev back in his own end on defense that time, knocked it away. Maine just not able to get behind the defenseman. Brought back in by Sinkov. Sinkov lost it, poked away, back out through center. Maine will give chase. Sokol Kiev's back there to get it, and they just ram it out through center ice. Keeping that puck onside. Sinkov at the blue line. What a beautiful drop pass. Boy, you can't beat that one. Elyukov lost it, though, and Maine pushes it back out. Back the other way, the Bears down the right side, brought in by Ronnie Helen. Helen got checked off the puck. In behind the net. It is taken on the near side on Chenyakov. Chenyakov drops it back to Sidorov. Sidorov, the defenseman, will bring it up over the red line and into the zone. He drops it off to the point. Back on the far wing side, rolling right along the blue line. It'll be kept in there by Sinkov. Sinkov dropping it to Shundrav. In behind the net, loose. And they're looking to center out in front again on Chenyakov. Chenyakov dropped it into the corner. Sokol Kiev controlling here with outstanding passing. Intercepted Mazur. Mazur tipped it out to center. Cleared in by Bobby Corkum. Corkum lost it in his skates. Puck is loose, shot in on goal. And Shindrov is holding it. Will clear it out as Major was coming right in on him. Good play by Shindrov. Stepanychev right side. Winds up, shot deflected. Rebound rolls in, taken away by Scott Smith. Smith turning. Sokol Kiev changing. Boy, they get out there quick though. Smith clears it off the boards, and it hit the Maine player on the bench and rolls back out. 6:42 remaining to go. Period number 2 here at the Альфонд Arena in Orono. Maine Black Bears are trailing by a score of 3-0 in this exhibition game. And Sokol Kiev putting on a show for the full house here, which will be about 4,300. Should be the largest crowd ever. Sold out over a week ago. This Cambio number 9 going back on the bench. Dewey Wallen out to take the draw. Wallen against Malkov. Wallen won it. Wallen can't keep it in. Taken away and cleared up by Danica. Danica lost it. Re-intercepted, and back comes Sokol Kiev. Zemchenko left side. Stepanychev into the corner. Falls down. Tried to center. Had it knocked away. Good play by Dave Nonis out there with Scott Smith on defense. Nonis pushing it off. Can't get it out of the zone. Shiryev kept it in. Shiryev's pass is intercepted. A nice play by Maine. Bears coming back. Dave Nonis around the defender, and it poke checked away. Shiryev poke checked it away. Vince Gadati at center, could not control it. Back on the other side, Zemchenkov. Zemchenkov is in. Zemchenkov looking. Shot saved by Lacoste, and he hangs on. John Lacoste with a great save. We've got a break in the action. The score. The Soviets 3 and Maine nothing. Great chance, scoring opportunity for Sokol Kiev, breaking down the right side on Lacoste, who had to make the short side save on Sergei Zemchenko. Sergei Zemchenko got a nice shot off. He was going for between the post and the pads that time and didn't quite get it. On the draw on the main end, Sokol Kiev controls it. Sidorov along the point, dumped it back in, skating in front, shot deflected by Yuldashev, and still in the zone. Maine's able to knock it out, but that's all. Sokol Kiev gets it right back. Back they come the other way. Yuldashev has a goal. He's passed it off left side, knocked away into the corner. Kulikov Kulикov up along the boards, trying to backhand it in. John McDonald knocked it away. Not enough. Pass left side. Look at that one. Just went wide by Menchnkov. What a backhand pass that was. McDonald gets it up. They come up right behind him and take it away. Puck now down in the Sokol Kiev end, but they regain possession. Kulикov. This line, Kulикov, Davıdov, and Юлдашев have put on a show here tonight. Back on the right wing side as they get onside. Brought in, looking to center. They do, in front. Puck is loose. Maine will get it back. Poke checked away. Great stick by Davıdov. Davıdov holding. Davıdov back out onto the point. Zelishov short side. Saved by Lacoste again. Oh, Yuldashev going for his second goal of the night. Had Lacoste dead to rights. And John Lacoste with a great move back to his left towards the post. Makes another outstanding save.
One of the first things you notice, Gary, watching the Soviet team play, even from a good distance away, is the curvature of their sticks. They don't go by that rule that limits how much a stick can be curved, and it's very, very obvious.
There's no rule, and they got the big bananas out there. Real curve, so you can just cuddle that puck and let her rip. Face off to the left of Lacoste. Maine will win it. Neil Johnson, the co-captain, back behind his own net. Forecheck by Sidorov. Valery Sidorov back on him. Johnson flips it up in the air. Goes all the way down the other way. Sokol Kiev will have to play it. They'll take it back in behind the net. Oleg Vashinin dumping it back to Gabishkin. Gabishkin trying to clear it up and outdoes. They're trying to break a man up now. Cleared back in. That'll be an offside on Maine. Maine was way offside. Sokol Kiev touches it up. And we'll come back out to center for the draw. Sergei Gabishkin, the captain, number 5. 27 years old, 5'7", 155-pounder. The captain of Sokol Kiev. This team plays together as a team in the elite division, the NHL League of the Soviet Union. And Gabishkin honored as wearing the C for this club. Face off at center, Golubovich. It is going to be taken by Maine. Chris Cambio. Cambio's tap pass out through the middle is intercepted. Maine not able to connect. Gabishkin dropped it off, cleared back in by Golubovich. Intercepted Neil Johnson. Johnson in behind his own net. 4:25 to go, second period. No scoring this period. Maine breaking. They got a 3-on-2 right now on their left wing side. Brought in. Shot way wide. Not on goal by Bobby Corkum. Kept in by Maine. Good play by Neil Johnson. Rams it in behind the net. Maine's had that problem all year. They get shots, but they're not getting them on goal. And Bobby Corkum had to get that one on goal and did not. Sokol Kiev clearing the puck out. Shastin, who's had a great game tonight, brings it in. Evgeny Shastin takes the shot. Quick wrist shot. Knocked away. Into the corner. Narimanov battling for it. It is loose. Put back out along the blue line. Kept in out there. Vashinin, his shot. Score! Tipped in out in front. Sokol Kiev gets goal number 4. As that one was tipped in on John Lacoste. And we'll have to wait on the call on that one. They had all kinds of people out in front. Golubovich may have gotten it, number 27. Golubovich was out there, and the shot taken from the right point, deflected off a stick out in front, and Golubovich was there, and he will get credit for the goal. Pretty good tip-in. Golubovich was right where he needed to be.
Came right through the crease and just tipped it the other way. Lacoste had nothing he could do with that one.
Scored by number 27,
Vladimir Golubovich will get the goal. He is 32 years old, one of the oldest players on this club. They have 4 players over 30. 16:41 the time of the goal. Sokol Kiev leading by a score of 4-0. Sokol Kiev controlling the draw down into the main end. Ronnie Helen intercepts and clears it up and out. Ronnie Helen out there with Rob Brascia and Vince Guidotti. Sokol Kiev on a loose puck. Lost it. They'll get it back. Sindrov will circle back in his own zone. Sindrov coming up over the red line on the right wing side, brought in by Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov centered, knocked away. Good play. Maine got back on that one. Sokol Kiev always has people right in front of that net. Puck cleared out the center ice. They'll come back in their own zone to pick it up. Ladjigan clearing it over to Sidorov. Sidorov on the left wing side to Ladjigan. Ladjigan let it go in behind the net. It'll be played by Lacoste, sweeps it around, taken by Ovchinnikov. Ovchinnikov in the corner, knocked away by Dave Nonis, and Maine's able to clear it out, and there'll be no icing called on this one. Sokol Kiev will play it, each side changing up here. Turning, coming up, Sintkayev cleared it in. Scott Smith lost it along the board. Smith trying to get it out of the zone. Sintkayev trying to keep it in, does. Sintkayev knocked it back in behind the net. Sinkov trying to center, poke checked away. Sokol Kiev controls again, blue line pass taken. Bears coming back. 2-on-2. John McDonald. McDonald tipping in front. That one goes wide. Mike McHugh never got a stick on it. Capuano tried to center. Poked away from him. Jack Capuano could not keep it in. McDonald and McHugh almost combining, but not quite. Sinkov down the left wing side clears it in as Sokol Kiev completes the change. Eric Weinrich behind the net over to McHugh. McHugh up along the blue line. Got jammed up. Cleared it out the center, but that's as far as he could go with it. Shiryayev dumps it back into the middle. Zemchenko a shot. That's deflected wide. Rebound goes off the back of the net. Eric Weinrich going back. Zemchenko on him. Weinrich tipped it up. Maine loses it in the corner. Intercepted Danica. Danica back out onto the point. Wind up. Shot tipped wide. Rebound is loose. Good play by Lacoste, who got it up and out. Bears come back the other way. Bobby Corkum. Corkum turning at center. Wheels it in wide of the net. Shindrov holding it up. His defense will come back to help out. Shiryayev has played a lot of ice time out there to Danica. Danica got the pass up through the middle. Back comes Zemchenko. Zemchenko on the left wing side. Centering pass knocked away by Neil Johnson. Johnson tipped it up to Corkum. And Corkum got it out. Maine's got another 2-on-1. Maine coming in. Major holding. Man open. Shot! Knocked away by Shindrov as Cambio was on the other side. Maine had the shot. Shindrov had to make the save on that one, and he did. Maine back to get it with a minute to go in the period. Trailing 4-0. Maine at center ice. Neil Johnson falling down. Can't control it. Maine just trying to get it out of there. They do. Major had it swept away, though, and coming back to get it will be Yuldashev. Yuldashev in his own end, looking with 50 seconds left to go. Centering pass straight up through the middle. Menchnkov got it in down the left side. Davyadov lost it. Poke checked away behind the net. Controlled back there by Sokol Kiev. Now they lost it to McComb. Got it up along the left wing side. Cambio tipped it up. Played by the goaltender, Yuri Shindrov. Shindrov dropped it off. Menchnkov clears it back up through the middle. Kicked away. Oh, Maine almost had a break on that one. They couldn't control it. Back the other way, Sidorov drop pass into the middle. It's loose, tipped away. Good play by Golubovich on that one. Back into the far side, taken by Yuldashev. Yuldashev dumped it back in behind the net. 11 seconds to go in the period. Nice backhand passing we've seen in this game. There's another one, dropped right out in front. Puck is loose, Maine's got it out. Only 3 seconds left to go, and they're not going to get it off. Roddy Helen shoots it, it's tipped up, and that's the buzzer ending the second period of play. So 1 goal scored. It'll be picked up by Sokol Kiev as they add to their lead. We have completed 2 periods of play at the Альфонд with a score. Sokol Kiev 4 and Maine 0. Back here at the University of Maine's Альфонд Arena as we are ready to go with period number 3, 4-0. As the Soviet coaching staff on the far side looking on, and they did a jig with the Maine Black Bear when they came out literally dancing to the pep band's music. Draw is won by David Wensley, and we're underway. Maine trailing 4-0. Eric Weinrich behind his own net. Ray Roy is now in goal for Maine in place of John Lacoste. Ray Roy, the Lewiston, Maine native, will play the final third period here against Sokol Kiev. Sokol Kiev intercepting behind the Maine net, jamming it up David Wensley, and they finally get a whistle here as Wensley got tied up behind the net with Danica.
That's a nice move on Sean Walsh's part to give Roy a chance to play against this Soviet team. Roy is the only American of the 3 Maine goaltenders, the other 2 being Canadians. I'm sure he'd like a chance to get in this game.
And he is a senior from Lewiston, Maine. Face-off 1. Sokol Kiev shot on, knocked away by Ray Roy. Gets his first save right away. Kept in right point by Shiryakin. Shiryakin dumped it in behind the net. Back to get it, Eric Weinrich. Weinrich trying to clear it up. Can't. Got it back himself, though. Eric will bring the puck up and get it out through center. Good forechecking. They always have their sticks in there. Zemchenko bringing it in. Zemchenko, he gets checked off the puck by Weinrich in front. Open shot, score! A centering pass is intercepted, and Stepanychev makes it 5-0. Anatoly Stepanychev gets the goal early on here in the third period. Ray Roy did not have a chance on this one. Point blank range, and he still put it in on the short side.
Off the forehand, not a thing Ray Roy could do.
Puck was knocked away in the corner, and then on the center, Maine tried to get it out, and Stepanychev was standing right there. So 47 seconds into the period now, it is 5-0. Anatoly Stepanychev gets the goal. That was a quick one. Ray Roy didn't even have time to look. Sokol Kiev clearing it out of the far end. Menchenkov clearing it down behind the Maine net. Dave Nonis Dumped it off to Scott Smith. Maine's trying to break somebody back. They're hanging a man back of the blue line the other way. It is intercepted. Studnicka kept it in. Studnicka drops it. Mazer out in front. Shot! Ooh, went wide! As Steve Santini had a wide open net and did not hit it. Back the other way. 2-on-2. 3-on-2. In front. Shot! Score on Rey Roy! A 3-on-2 break, and Sergei Davyadov puts it in, and it is now 6-0. Davyadov gets that one, and again, Roy had a look at the gun head on as he was cutting in through the top of the crease, top of the circle rather, and got that shot in on the left side, on the stick side of Rey Roy, and it is now 6-0. That didn't take very long.
There are no weak shots at all.
Well, they have some of the best wrist shots you will ever see. Neil Johnson. Sergei Davyakov gets the goal. Sokol Kiev back in their own end. 1:22 the time of the goal, so goals at 47 seconds and 1:22, and Sokol Kiev leads at 6-0. Puck cleared down by Sokol Kiev into the main zone. Vince Gadati clears it around the boards, up, not out, backhanded in by Garbushin. Garbushin, a good job on defense tonight. Out in front, puck loose again. Player takes a dive. They don't call it. Back up ahead, Major. Major with a man on him. Dropped it, Neil Johnson, and a whistle. That's going to be an offside call. Neil Johnson thought he was going to get a shot on that one. And the problem is a Soviet player at the other end who is down on the ice. So as they look to him, we've got a break in the action. Sean Waltz looking on behind the main bench. Sokol Kiev 6 and Maine nothing. Nikolai Yadigan going off the ice, 32 years old. Two of their oldest players have gone down a couple of times here tonight. 32, the age of two of their players. Nikolai Yadigan is one of them. But he, with a little help, looks as though he's okay. Again, he went down hard. Mike McHugh on a shot deflected up and in behind the net. Loose. Maine's got it. Wensley shot! Score! Down Wensley! Wensley, number 22, in front, tipped it, and got it in on the right side of the goaltender, Yuri Shundrov, and Wensley keeps the puck. As he got it out of the net, brought it back over to the bench. That one, Shundrov looked as though he was going to make the save on, but it bounced right off the leg. So Wensley gets the goal at 2:06, and it is 6-1. Maine will not be shut out. Danica back in his own end, lost it, kept in by Weinrich. Backed in behind the boards, far side. Shiryev, McHugh got an assist on that. And John McDonald got an assist. That'll fire Maine up a little bit here as they get on the board. 6-1. As the Soviets out on top. Back the other way. They've got a break coming in. Shiryev shot. That goes into the netting, and that's an automatic whistle. And the faceoff will come down in the main zone. So David Wensley will get the goal. The senior from North Vancouver, British Columbia. Pumping it in at the other end. McHugh and McDonald getting the assist on it at 2:06 as Maine gets on the board in the third period. Rey Roy looking out to the face-off, which they're going to move out to center ice. Todd Studnicka wins it from Maine to Dave Nonis. Studnicka poke-checked away back to Smith. Smith got it up to Steve Santini, the Yonkers, New York native. Santini battling, lost it. Back the other way, Sokol Kiev, Danica. Brought in, wind up, holding it, shot, deflected wide. Oh, they had a chance on that one. Kept in, and they're coming in on Roy again, right in that slot area. It is loose. Ovchinnikov can't get it. Dropped it off to Sinkov. Sinkov, look out, shot, save, Rey Roy. Rebound, kept in Ovchinnikov. Oh, Ovchinnikov holding it out at the point. Lost it, fell down. Nonis coming ahead over to Studnicka. That will be an offside on Maine. You will not see many teams get as close to the opposing goaltender as Sokol Kiev does. That's their stick handling ability.
And then they always have another teammate right nearby for a tip-in or a short pass.
Right on top of Rey Roy, who came out to cut down the angle on that last one with a skater coming right through the slot area. Rebound went out to the point, but they could not hold it in. And the Maine was able to get it out of there. Face off at center now. One back down to Sokol Kiev end. Back to get it, Menchentov. Menchekov left it in behind his own net, intercepted. Corkum centered shot! Oh, what a save by Shundrov! Robbed him on that one. Shundrov with a save on Major. Back the other way. Sokol Kiev again, right down the middle. Look at that between the legs. Backhand pass by Zemchenko. Into the corner, knocked back out. Zemchenko can't get it. Sidorov does. Sidorov's pass, taken away. Cambio, 3-on-1. Cambio dropped it. Major, left side, shot fanned on Bobby Corkum. Corkum had the shot, and he never got it off. Back the other way, Sokol Kiev. Oh, what a chance Maine had on that one. Neil Johnson in his own end. Maine's had a lot of chances, intercepted. Zemchenko shot, save, rebound, covered up by Rey Roy. Sergei Zemchenko. Zemchenko with a move, and Roy with a save. Look at him coming right down the middle on Rey Roy. Right pad save, and the rebound went underneath the pads, and he held on. Lewiston, Maine native, a good job. Sokol Kiev gets shots. Goaltender has got to do some work. Face-off will be to the right of Rey Roy. Rob Brasher, Oxford, Mass. Freshman takes the draw. Shot fanned on. Yuldashev into the corner. Picked up by Weinrich. Weinrich dropped it off. Capuano can't get it up. Comes right back to him. Capuano between the legs. Pass intercepted. Chance for a 3-on-1. Pass goes behind the right winger, though. Yuldashev kept it in. Shot deflected by Cambio into the corner. Shastin over to get it. He dropped it back. And it is loose along the boards. Just kicked at. Kept in there by Gabushin. Gabushin battling behind the net. Tying his man up. Gabushin, Weinrich battle. Puck loose. Good check. Capuano. Puck loose again in front. Man open. Score! Boy, when they got an open net, they don't miss it. Yuldashev gets his second goal of the night on a perfect pass. He was just parked at the doorstep of Rey Roy on that one and waiting for it. And that's his second goal of the night.
Pass came from across the left side of the goaltender Rey Roy from Davydov. Put it right on his stick and bang. There's so much awareness on this team of where everybody is all the time. It comes from a lot of practice and timing, and also an awful lot of ability and good vision.
Nikolai Ramil Yuldashev gets the goal, his second of the night. And it is 7-1. Intercepted, Scott Smith. Smith looking to center, had it knocked away. 4:35 the time of that goal, so Yuldashev has picked up 2 goals in tonight's game. 7-1, Sokol Kiev leading. Puck cleared into the main end. Scott Smith has it off the glass, cleared it up and out through center ice. It'll be taken back. Sokol Kiev trying to get onside. Some shoving going on at the other end. Scott, of all people, Scott Smith and Evgeny Shastin having a couple of words, and they're both going to go. He'll set him down on that one. We've got a break in the action with a score. Sokol Kiev 7 and Maine 1. Smith and Shastin are both gone. 5:05, time of the penalties. So we'll skate 4-on-4. Slashing on Shastin. And Smith and Maine for slashing as well. So 5:05, time of the penalties, matching minors. Each team a man short here. Maine driving the puck in the end. Bruce Major behind the net. Could not dig it out of there, though. 14:39 left to go in the game. 7-1. Sokol Kiev leading. Back they come. Shuriev lost it. Poked away Eric Weinrich. Good play by Weinrich. Shuriev tried to keep it in. Could not. Driven out by Bobby Corkum. Back to get it at the other end, Danica. Danica cleared it over on the far side. 4-on-4 right now. Puck cleared in, avoiding the check. Narimanov. But they keep the puck in. Narimanov down along the boards. Comes back into the middle. Backhand pass. Weinrich. Good anticipation. Intercepted that one. Weinrich trouble picking it up, but he's got it. Eric Weinrich will circle back in his own end. He's going to be forecheck. Weinrich on the far side to Neil Johnson. Johnson to Mike McHugh. McHugh between the legs, avoids the check. Good play by Danica that time. It knocked him off the puck. Danica gets it back. Danica holding up, shutting down. Neil Johnson puts the good body into it. Maine's got a 2-on-1. McHugh and Johnson. McHugh on the right side. Now 2-on-2. McHugh in. Shot. Deflected. Rebound. Shot. Oh, they had an open net. Couldn't get it in. Wide open. They couldn't get it in. Back the other way. 2-on-2. Right out in front. Look at that. Stick handling. Oh, control of the puck. Cleared back on the right side into the middle. A man open all alone. Shot, save. Rebound poked away by Dave Nonis. Great save by Rey Roy. And Nonis knocked it away. Narmakov in the corner. Dave Nonis on him. Cleared up and out by Cambio. What a save, Rey Roy. They were toying with him out in front as they were stick handling, bouncing the puck side to side. Puck cleared off the boards for the main bench. Cleared in by Menchekov. Menchenkov's pass back out through center ice. Sokol Kiev back to get it. Narimanoff. Narimanoff leaves it back in his own end. 15 seconds remaining on the matching minors. David Wensley up for checking. Maine's only goal from David Wensley. Ovchinnikov left it in behind the net. David Wensley, John McDonald up there. McDonald doing a good job, kicks it loose. And Yuldashev will come away with it. Now lost it. McDonald really ramming, got it out to the point. Dave Nonis a shot. Defenseman blocked it. Penalties are over. We're back at full strength. Good play out there by a forward who was up at a defensive spot that time. Kuznetsov, who put the body down in front of it. 7-1, Sokol, Kiev, 12:40 to go in the game. Shot on goal. Rey Roy will make the save. He'll drop it in behind the net. Jack Capuano around the boards. Todd Studnicka gets rammed. Did not get it out. Wensley couldn't get it. Backhand pass. A long shot hit the post. Rebound, centering pass knocked wide. That one a post. Good friend right there, the goaltender on that one. Sokol Kiev not done yet though. Circling out in front, they lose it. Todd Studnicka. Studnicka, what a great hip check. Todd Studnicka dumped by Alexander Menchenkov. Rebound in front. Wensley covered up by the goaltender Yuri Sindrov. Maine with another chance. We've got a break in the action here with a score. Sokol Kiev 7 and Maine 1. Fans piled in here. Over 4,300 will be on hand. Expected for this one with a sellout, standing room only. Face off at the Sokol Kiev end, and they come away with the puck. The Falcons guard in on the right side, centered right through the crease. They had him set up. Could not get Zemchenko, though, who was coming down the left wing side. Cleared back out the center. Gabushin dropped it back off. Valyushin get checked off by Bruce Major. Jack Capuano knocked it ahead. Intercepted. Sokol Kiev gets it back, rammed into the main zone. Weinrich is there. Weinrich cleared it up, out, intercepted Gabushkin. Capuano knocking it away. Todd Studnicka. Studnicka tied up at center ice. Oh, they're wheeling and dealing right now. Brought back into the main end. Those great banana sticks help out on the passes. Stefanchensky lost it, picked up by Santini. Santini rolls it out through center ice. Maine's trying to get a change here if they can. Brought back in by Zemchenko. Zemchenko centered. In front, Gabushkin centered it. Shot, save, Roy, rebound covered up. Oh, he had Roy down. They couldn't get it in. Centered, knocked away Weinrich. Weinrich really anticipating well. Eric Weinrich clears it up. Intercepted at the other end by Danica. Weinrich has caught on to how they're setting up, and he's been there to make some very nice interceptions. Weinrich will be going to join the national U.S. team. Maine's going to miss him for 5 games. In on goal again. Smith rolled in, knocked away by Roy, and Johnson cleared it out to center. Shot back, and it will be back in their own end. Peter Malkov. Malkov, 26-year-old center, winds up. Shot hit the side of the post. Rebound kept in on the far side. Shuriev dumped it down in behind the net. Centered, a man alone, knocked away wide. They're getting people set up here. Yuldashev almost had the trick on that one. Out through center, it is loose, intercepted by Wensley. Wensley with Maine's goal brings it in. Down the left side, offside call. Eric Weinrich, the Maine native number 5, doing a job helping Rey Roy as Roy had to look at another point-blank range shot. He was already down. He blocked it with a glove. Rebound, he got the glove over there again to knock it away. Weinrich came in to help out. Eric Weinrich, only a freshman, Gardner, Maine, played at North Yarmouth Academy. Outstanding hockey player who will get a chance to play on the U.S. national team here during the Christmas and New Year's break. Maine will miss him for the Old Lang Syne tournament at Dartmouth and for 2 games against Colorado College here at home. He'll join the team in Minnesota. Great chance for Weinrich. John McDonald intercepting the pass. McDonald clears it ahead. Danica may have tipped it in. They're going to wave everything off on this one. Puck loose in the corner. Kulikoff up along the boards. Battle for it. It's rolled out. Kulikoff got it away. Nice board pass down the left side. Bearing in. Holding it. Centered. Hit Rey Roy's stick. Good play by Roy. Yuldashev trying for the hat trick again. Mike McHugh underneath the defender. McHugh crisscrossing. Man open. McDonald. Shot. Save. Rebound. McHugh knocked away. Hang on. Doesn't matter anyway. The whistle had blown. Offside. I want to tell you, Maine has had a whole lot of chances that they've not converted on in this game. Good chances. 2-on-1, 3-on-2s.
Mike McHugh and John McDonald have both played very, very well, using that speed, matching these Soviet players almost stride for stride in many cases and beating them in that case.
Maine without Todd Jenkins, their fastest skater with an ankle injury. Their starting goaltender, Al Loring, has gone home to British Columbia for the Christmas vacation. So Jean Lacoste played the first 2 periods of this game, and Rey Roy, the Lewiston, Maine native, is in there right now. Menchenkov behind his own net. Alexander Menchenkov cleared it up and out through center. Here they come back again. 9:43 to go in the game. Centered, knocked away, puck loose. McComb's got a good play, Tom McComb. Maine really adjusting to the Sokol Kiev play. Ronnie Helen offside. You can just see Maine now anticipating what Sokol Kiev is going to do with their passing and getting back there where they need to be. Ronnie Helen, New Hope, Minnesota, redshirted because of an injury, is here at Maine for his 5th season and is the co-captain of the club along with Neil Johnson. Face-off out at center ice. 9:33 to go. Hope you are enjoying this Maine moment of history in sports. First Soviet team to play here. Maine trying to get another goal in front. Ronnie Helen could not get a stick on it. It'll be cleared back up the other way down the left wing side. 7-1, Sokol Kiev leading. Brought in, centered, in front, nobody there. All the way back out onto the point. Wind up, man open left side. They're looking to center, getting those shots out in front in the slot area. Shot on, saved by Roy, rebound, score. Initial shot, he made the save, but Evgeny Shastin will get the goal. Shastin's having himself a night here tonight. Shastin now has picked up his 2nd goal, and he also has at least 1 assist that's been credited to him.
Roy with a good left pad save. Couldn't do anything with the rebound, though, and Shastin put it between Rey Roy's 2 pads. Roy's been tough, as was Lacoste in the first 2 periods, but they've seen an awful lot of tough action.
Valery Sidorov sent him up. Sidorov will get 1 of the assists, and Evgeny Shastin will get the goal, his 2nd of the night, and it is 8-1. Sokol Kiev now pouring it on here in this 3rd period. Out through center, Major cleared it ahead. Studnicka into the corner, gets ridden off by Ovchinnikov. Major behind the net, could not control it. Gabushkin dumped it back. Still loose. Studnicka knocked it away, but Sokol Kiev with that great stick handling cleared down to the main zone. This could be touched up for an icing call. No, yes. Good effort down there to try and get to the puck first was number 15, Alesky Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov, though, not quite on time, and the faceoff will come back the other way as Rey Roy will watch down at the other end. Lewiston, Maine native, who was a senior here at Maine. 8:36 remaining to go in the game. Bears are trailing by a score of 8-1. They've been outshot over 2 periods in this game. 31-11. John Lacoste over 2 periods had 27 saves, whereas the goaltender Shundrov for the Soviets had to make only 11. Puck loose in the main end at the point. It'll be shot in by Sinkov. Sinkov got it down to the side of the net. Puck loose behind the net. Smith got it, wrapped it up, and just got it out of the zone. Taken by Vashinin. Vashinin back at his own end with Gabushkin. Gabushkin drops it back off into the middle. Golubovich cleared it down the right side. Into the corner, loose, battle for it. Everybody digging. Kuznetsov in behind the net. Kuznetsov falls down, gets up, gets the puck. Knocked away by Bobby Corkum. Can't get him off, though. Sinkov get it out into the middle. Ovchinnikov scores! Andrei Ovchinnikov gets goal number 9, and again, point-blank range, as Ovchinnikov skated right out in front.
They're just relentless. They keep on coming at the Maine Bears time after time, and that shot was just perfect. Top left corner. There's not one thing you can do about it. Neil Johnson frustrated at giving up 9 goals. The Maine's had some good back-checking and some good goaltending in this game, and they've still given up 9 goals against this tremendous offense.
Goal will come at 12:08, and it is 9-1 as Sokol Kiev getting reared up here in this 3rd period. They now have 5 goals this period. Back in on goal, shot wide. Rebound back out onto the point, kept in by Danica. Lost it to McComb. McComb knocks it around. Cleared back through to Wensley. Wensley will bring it in, dropped it off, and McComb could not reach it. Poke checked away. Stepanachev got it up into the middle. Man in, shot on, saved by Roy. As Zemchenko had the break, could not get it. Wensley with a man on him, had it taken away. Wensley trying to keep it in with John McDonald. McDonald overskated. Zemchenko comes away with it. This first line, Malkov, Zemchenko, have been tough together. Brought in, dropped off, right in front, shot deflected wide. They had another shot at it right there. Shot saved by Roy with a glove. Zemchenko moving in with Stepanichev. Rey Roy, like John Lacoste, seeing all kinds of rubber flying around that main goal crease. And lots of the Soviet red of Sokol Kiev. Face-off will be to the right of Rey Roy. Sellout crowd here at the Альфонд tonight. After this, the players get to go home for Christmas. Right now, they're probably hoping that comes right away. As you're not going to shut down Sokol Kiev. Todd Studnicka for Maine, moving in to take the draw against Alexander Kulikov. Studnicka won it back to Weinrich. Weinrich wraps it around the boards. It'll be kept in at the point. Nope. Fell outside the line. 7 minutes remaining to go in the game.
This game is something the Maine players will not soon forget from a lot of standpoints. One being the hockey standpoint. They'll probably learn something. They've seen a lot of things that they've never seen in person, certainly up this close before, as far as this weaving and passing style of play.
You can tell these players have played together for a long time. That's all they do. That's what their life is. So the practice making perfect is what you see when you see this kind of hockey from Soviet Union teams. Again, Kiev on the draw. Again, it's won by Todd Studnicka. One aspect of the game Maine has dominated has been on face-offs. Trouble is, they've not been able to do much with it. Cleared out by Capuano, trying to hit a man. Mazer breaking at the other end, but it's intercepted at center. Over to get it Santini. Santini missed on the check against the boards. Taken away by Sertigov. Back the other way, Yuldashev centered it out in front. Look out, backhand. Held on to too long. Went right by the net that time, but they still got the puck. Centered in front again. Watch them crisscrossing out in front of the net. Yuldashev on the left side. Shot saved by Roy. A great pad save on Kulikov's shot. Santini up to Studnicka. It'll be intercepted at center ice. Yuldashev with 2 goals tonight. He's looking for a hat trick in this one, as is Shastin. Back the other way. Poke checked away by Eric Weinrich. Weinrich clears it up. Capuano can't get it. Maine changing. Coming off the bench. It is knocked away by Cambio. And Sokol Kiev will bring it back the other way. Back down into the main end. Dyadov backhand shot. Deflected off Rey Roy's stick. Up into the netting. No whistle called on it. Back out in front. Held onto Kulikov. Back out onto the point. Knocked away by Bobby Corkum. Corkum hauled down. Puck loose. Yuldashev. Shot save Roy. Rebound. Knocked away by Capuano to Corkum. Corkum centered right out in front. Held onto side of the net. Shot saved by Rey Roy. Great setup, and Davyador had the shot, and Roy has the save. We've got a break in the action with a score. Sokol Kiev 9 and Maine 1.
Another look at that play. The shot coming from the middle of the save by Roy. Rebound off to the side. Roy's been tough in this period.
I'll tell you, he's had to be. Face off to the right of Rey Roy. David Wensley won it to John McDonald. McDonald over to Mike McHugh. McHugh had it tipped away by Gabushin. Gabushin and McHugh go into the corner. McDonald coming in to help out. McDonald, Gabushin. Gabushin gives away with it. McDonald knocks him off the puck. McHugh in there digging. Dug it out to McDonald. Centered Wensley. Wensley tried to tip it with a long stick. Could not. Cleared back out. Scott Smith now finds himself one-on-one. Gets a little help from Neil Johnson. Brought back in on the left side by Danica. Danica dropped it off into the point. Knocked away from Shastin. Cleared up and out through center. Back to get it is Scott Smith battling with Oleg Yashtian. Yashtian won that battle. Headed out to Gorbushkin. Gorbushkin's intercepted Scott Smith, who rams it right back in, and Maine will change up. Back to get it, Vashinin. Vashinin lost it. Intercepted by Maine. Maine holding. Good play, Wensley. Wensley winds up. Shot deflected. Saved by Shundrov. Shundrov with a stick save on that one. Neil Johnson knocks it behind the net. Ronnie Helen could not get it. Cleared all the way around to the boards. Backhand passing has been magnificent by Sokol Kiev in this game. Some of the best backhand passing you'll ever see. Brought back into the main end. Centered shot. Went wide. They had it set up. I mean, they had Gabushkin all by himself out there, and he missed that one. Wensley gets it up ahead. Drop pass into the middle. Knocked away. Maine not converting. Vince Gadati's drop pass went behind his breaking winger. And winding up with it, Narimanov. Narimanov back in his own end. Nikolai Narimanov waiting for his teammates to get back out there on the ice. Intercepted. Ronnie Helen. Helen around one defender. Poke checked away. Penalty coming up. And this is going to be on Sokol Kiev. So Maine will have another power play. It'll be their third power play of the game. And let's see if Maine can do anything with it. Going to the box, Valery Shuryev. Shuryev getting a stick in there, I think on a hook. Shuryev was trying to poke the puck away, but Helen had already gone by him. Let's see what the official is here. 4:14 remaining to go in the game. It is a hooking call. 15:46 will be the time of the call. Shuryev out, Maine on a power play. Sokol Kiev clears it down into the main end. Rey Roy will go out of the net and hold it up. Coming back to get it will be Scott Smith. Smith reversing direction. Dave Nonis with him on the power play up to Cambio. Cambio can't get it. Went by him. Intercepted by Ovchinnikov. Ovchinnikov just drops it off on the far wing side. They'll circle at center. Malkov. Malkov gets it back the other way to Danica. Danica brings it in. Danica down the right side. Danica behind the net. Into the other corner. Knocked away by Nonis. Picked up by the Bears. Out to Cambio. Chris Cambio has a man on him. Cambio one-hands it. Tied up. Tried to poke it in. Goes into the net. And that'll get the whistle. Chris Cambio going in. Takes the net off the moorings. We've got a break in the action. At the Альфонд Arena with a score. Sokol Kiev 9. Maine 1. Face-off will be to the right of Yuri Shundrov as Sean Waltz behind the main bench looking on with his players trailing 9-1. They never expected to win this one. Wanted to be in it. They really have been. Third period, Sokol Kiev worn them down. Weinrich a shot. Saved by Shundrov. Weinrich with a good blast from the blue line that time. Puck loose in the right corner. Maine trying to keep it in. Weinrich stumping up. Weinrich had it knocked away. Weinrich poking at it. Can't get it away. And Sokol Kiev will clear it back out. Back down the left wing side. Narimanov into the corner. Jammed up. Helmet taken off his head that time with a check by Wensley. Wensley behind the net trying to dig it out. Capuano comes in to help out to McDonald. McDonald back into the middle of Capuano. Capuano coming. He's got Ronnie Helen on the right side. Capuano in. Capuano shot. Save. Shundrov got that one with a backhand glove. Puck knocked away and cleared up, not out, kept in by Weinrich. Weinrich right along the blue line at the point. Falls down on top of the puck. Got knocked down on top of it. Alexei Kuznetsov going down on top of him, and the face-off will be just inside the line. Maine, nothing to be ashamed of here tonight. The fans have seen the kind of play that would be anticipated from Sokol Kiev. Great, great skating and passing. And the Bears were in it, trailing 3-0 after 1, 4-0 after 2. They got their only goal at 2:06 of this period. Had trailed 6-0 at one point. But Sokol Kiev has come away with 5 goals this period.
And they've lived up to their billing as being entertaining to watch, to say the least. They're a great team.
I want to watch passing. McHugh on the draw in, shot, save, covered up. Good play by Yuri Shundrov, who came out to cut down the angle. Shundrov took that one right into the pads and squeezed them shut. 30 years old, 5'7", 154-pounder, one of 2 goaltenders traveling with Sokol Kiev. Yuri Shundrov. Alexander Vashiliev is the backup goaltender. He is only 22 years old, 8 years younger than the starter here tonight. This team will go on to play Boston University down at the Brown Arena this coming weekend in their second game. Stadstadnicka won it, shot Santini again right into the midsection and held onto by Shundrov.
Traveling all these miles with just 2 goaltenders, what happens if one gets hurt? It's a long way to call for a backup.
Going to pay the airfare on that one, huh? Face off again to the right of Shundrov. This team is not from Russia in the sense of that county. Shot on, knocked away by Shundrov. Cleared back in behind the net. Maine controlling down there, trying to get their second goal. Puck loose. McHugh reversing direction up onto the point. Scott Smith takes the shot on the other side to Johnson. Johnson is shot, tipped wide, rebound McHugh, covered up by Shundrov, and it comes off into the corner. Zemchenko gets it and clears it out. Zemchenko shot it all the way down to Rey Roy. Roy trying to get it out, knocked it right into the Sokol Kiev player out in front all alone. Roy's down, shot, score. Rey Roy was down, and Zemchenko held it again, and shot that thing from the middle of the right circle by the time he let it go, and he started over in the other circle at the bottom of it. Ooh, Sergei Zemchenko gets the goal, and it is 10-1. Well, you talk about playing with confidence. They just hang on to the puck until you make a mistake. They make you make mistakes by the way they play. It is 10-1. 17:47 will be the time of the goal. Sokol Kiev leading Maine. They're going to be offside on that one. Sergei Zemchenko getting the goal. Peter Malkov gets the assist.
Sokol Kiev just went offside, but that's another indication of how well drilled they are. They've hardly gone offside at all tonight. There have been very few whistles in this game, contrary to what we thought might happen.
Yeah, the 2-line rule on the offsides has not had much effect at all. Dave Nonis from behind his own net gets it out to McComb. McComb's pass knocked away, intercepted at center ice. Turning right around with it, Sokol Kiev tipped away by Dave Nonis. Taken by Chris Cambio. Maine, a very young team, building what hopefully will be a power in Division I college hockey in the United States, playing in Hockey East. They've got some great young players. They lost, of course, their outstanding player, Sean Anderson. who has gone with the Canadian Olympic team. Major, left side, holds it, looking. Collapsing defense on him. Dumped it in behind the net. Nonis trying to center. It'll be intercepted by Valdyshev. Valdishev's got a man open. Back the other way. All alone. In on goal. Shot. Score. Oh, what a shot. Sergei Davyadov put that one into the upper corner. He hit the crossbar, the post, and the net all at the same time. Watch this shot.
Last time we saw that was Brett Hull.
Holy
Minnesota
mackerel,
Duluth.
what a shot. I mean, you couldn't take the puck and put it in the net any better than that.
You need a 4x6 goalie to stop that one.
Watch this. Literally hits the post, the crossbar, and the net. Right up underneath it. Ray Roy would have to be standing on his head to make that save. It is 11-1. Great shot by Sergei Davyadov. Davyadov gets it. Maine at the other end. Can't keep it in. That goal came at 18:40. And it is 11-1. 1 minute to go in the game. Weinrich trying to clear it up and out. Does. They get the whistle.
7 goals in this period.
They have all been the kind you'd write home about. Put them on tape. Play it again. They have been beautiful shots. Andrei Ovchinnikov against Wensley on the draw. One by Ovchinnikov. Got it into Sinkov. Sinkov at the point holding it. Dumped back in behind the main net. Stepanischev. Weinrich has got it. Weinrich trying to clear it out, and it did. Shuriev lost it. Poked away. Cleared in. Behind the net. Loose. Ovchinnikov. Ovchinnikov lost it. Got tied up and knocked down. Gets it right back. Gets up. Puts it on his stick. Dumped it down into the corner. Sinkov centered out in front. Puck loose. Taken away by the Bears. 28 seconds left to go. On the left side, John McDonald. McDonald coming in. McDonald takes the shot. Save made by Sindrov. In behind the net, Danica. Alatolia Danica. Danica will head man it over the red line to the blue line. In on goal. Around the defender. Hauled down. That's a penalty. Scott Smith kind of shrugs on that one. Says, what am I going to do? Smith will be called for holding. And if you want to have a holding penalty on tape, there it is. Want to know what holding is? Scott Smith just did it. Hauled him down. As Alatolia Danica had gone from one end to the other on the rush. 1950 will be the time of the penalty. Soviet coaches have to be happy with this one as they are going to get a win under their belt. Elatonia Bogdanovic wearing the hat, the head coach of Sokol Kiev. So 10 seconds left to go. Power play advantage. Drop pass. Santini got it back out onto the point. Skating down in the slot. Fanned on. Puck loose. 2 seconds left, and that's it. That's the game as Sokol Kiev comes away with a win. Rey Roy getting a hug from the Soviet defenseman Alexander Menchentov. There will be a special salute here we'd like for you to watch right now to end this game. They will raise their sticks to the fans in a salute to the hockey fans, the Альфонд Arena, who are on their feet. The teams lining up to look at one another. Soviet captain shaking the hands of the officials. There's the stick salute as the sticks go up in the air. And now the players are just going to come together and shake hands rather than forming the usual line. They're kind of doing the wedding reception routine here as they're lined up across the blue lines here. And a very special moment for Maine sports and Maine hockey as Sokol Kiev will come away with a win. The final score is Sokol Kiev 11 and Maine 1.